Yo, how's it going, everybody? I I just be thinking to myself like, yo, people don't be really critically thinking about like God or things like that. They like I don't even mean to sit here and assume because Christians always like to say this stuff like and I'm doing it too. They always want to impart their truth and then start off with this presumption that most people don't know what this is and then talk about something. I'm like, I get irritated because I hear that all the time. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, but like, who knows if this is your, maybe, I don't want to discount this to say this isn't spirit led or anything like that, but like, sometimes how do you know this is something that's God led? How do you know this ain't, like, I don't know, like, what's your intentions behind this? Like, people got good words to say and it's like good, but like, what makes you the arbiter and the difference from human thought? How do you know your words are from God? Now, mind you, yeah, if God inspires you, sure, it's going to be translated through your mind and then from your thoughts, and your subconscious mind is going to go to your conscious mind, you're going to speak it out. But I'm like, sometimes people's newest ideas, I think some people be getting too high off their supply and they think new ideas that burst from their mind are like things that are godly. And typically we understand that the thoughts that are godly is simply those thoughts that are good and wise. So if they just sound nice, they're just clever speech, you're just gassing yourself up. That's one thing I've had to learn is like when people start gassing themselves up and getting high off their supply, I just be like, I roll my eyes. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. Like people want to get so arrogant about their perspective relationship with God. And I'm like, how do you know your stuff is with God? How do you know this stuff is legit? Because everybody always got these claims. Oh my gosh, I know what God said. And I think it's just like, how do you know? I'm not even just saying how do you know, because you know your relationship with God, but like, how do you know your words don't have the spirit of God? Because it's like peace, love, peace, joy, patience, kindness, gentleness. Love, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control, and probably some other ones I can't remember. But it's like the spirit; those are like the qualities of the spirit. So it's like, how do you know at least as far as I know, how you know you're falling in line is that you fall in line with the stuff that the Bible already said. And these are general expressions of a character, and also like the heart of God. It's always well-meaning. It's always wise. When they say wisdom will be proven right by our children, it means right things will always come out true. So when you just making up stuff that sound good, test it. Test that stuff. People always want to sit here and talk about, like, they use very vague language and stuff like that, and you don't really know what they're talking about. It's like, okay, fine, let's test that. If you want to test that stuff, use wisdom. If you say, oh, if you put money here, we're going to open up the supernatural, and we're going to change the gates, and we're going to manifest. It's like all these terms are very vague. What do you mean? What do you mean? We're going to manifest the transformation. Okay, fine. So let's break down what you just said. Manifest means to make physical, right? Turn something that's metaphysical, that's not essentially concepts and ideas, into something that's physical. So, like, let's say I have an idea to build a birdhouse. So this concept is an idea, is metaphysical, is not physical. It's essentially not real. It's just an idea that I made. What's going to manifest this idea is that I go to Home Depot or some hardware store. I grab tools. I grab a saw. I might grab some nails. I might grab a nail gun. I might grab some wood. I grab some planks. I grab, I don't know, those shutter thingies, those things for the roof. And then I build. With this idea, I build. So I build, and then, I set up a little hole and stuff like that. And then I create this birdhouse using skills. there, I have manifested based off thoughts that I had. Something that was immaterial now is something material. Something that was in my mind, I have now created it using skills and thoughts that I applied. So if this is apparently, from what I can tell, if it's a God-led thought, then it'll come out from there. Now another thing is it wise to do that? Let's say there are no birdhouses or no trees. I don't know where the birds will come from, but like, let's say the birds are tired or something, and you had an idea, just something like epiphany, and it's like, build birdhouses, and you might hear in some sort of voice that was understandable to you, build birdhouses, and you're like, something told me to build birdhouses, and so it's like, okay, well, we got some lumber nearby. I'm a carpenter. I know how to make this stuff. So okay, for some reason somebody told me to build birdhouses. Get birdseed. Okay, something told me to get birdseed. I don't know why I'm doing this. So he makes a bunch of birdhouses. He put them on posts. He makes birdseed. So let's say, okay, for some reason he's, this stuff proves to be an effective tool for gathering birds, and who knows what birds, like maybe it's pest control or something. I don't know. But like, I can see that being a word of advice from the Lord, because it served a purpose and was used in wisdom. So don't let these charlatans, these smooth talkers, start telling you stuff that sound good, man, because they're not really telling you anything. They're telling you stuff that don't really have anything to do with being mindful, wisdom, or even a loving practice. It's just things that could be switched up, talking about so-called spiritual concepts and etc., yada yada yada, and a bunch of ragtag mentions and notions about stuff they've never experienced, or perhaps they have experienced, but it's totally different from what is experienced from the Bible. Like, watch out, because people make stuff up all the time and will tell you that this is true and give you no proof, give you no extra detail as to why this information is solid. So yeah, be careful, y'all.